Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight, I want to talk to you myself about a topic that interested me and I thought might interest you. I recently started a group on Facebook called Why Is It So Hard to Donate a Kidney? And there's the link. I was inspired to start the group because a number of my friends have begun or completed the process of donating a kidney and have complained about the difficulty in doing so, either in terms of being rejected or slow responses of the transplant center staff to answer questions or disclose test results. And, they never tell you who's testing and that sort of thing. Also, I found out that if you have a group of people that agree to test for you, they'll only test one at a time. The theory being, if we find the right person, while we're doing individual tests, we don't need to test the other folks. So um, that's why sometimes it seems like it takes so long. At any rate, as a result of these statements about difficulties in donating, I began to do a little investigating and a little research. And as a transplant recipient, in the past, I have always thought that donors were given more of a sympathetic path than those of us that were on the receiving end. I was wrong. So let's talk about it. Let's do a little bit of a review about the process of living donation. So, what is living donation? Living donation refers to a kidney transplant where a living person donates one of his or her kidneys, good kidneys, to someone else. There are two types of living kidney donation. There's direct donation, where a living kidney donor chooses a specific person with kidney disease that they want to donate to. Examples would include a family member, coworker, friend, donating to a specific person in need of a kidney transplant. Then there is a non-directed donation. Here, the living donor does not have a specific recipient in mind, but donates a kidney to a complete stranger. An example of this is a paired donation program donation, where the potential recipient trades his non-matching donor to a recipient that donor matches, and in return, the second guy trades back his recipient that doesn't match him, but matches the first donor. Or sometimes when you do a paired donation, you donate to a stranger, and that moves you up to the top of the list, and the next matching donor that comes along is your or his or her donor. So, who can donate? What are the requirements of donating? For every state and kidney transplant center, there may be different requirements, but in general, to be a living kidney donor, one must A, be 18 years of age or older, B, have two healthy working kidneys, and C, be healthy enough to donate. So that leads us to the question, am I healthy enough to donate? Can I meet the requirements of a full and complete health evaluation from the transplant center? So, what this refers to is medical conditions can be a cause for disqualification as a potential donor. You must be healthy enough to donate a kidney, or certain medical conditions may disqualify you. All kidney transplant centers in the United States will require the potential living kidney donor to undergo a full health evaluation before they'll be permitted to donate a kidney. This evaluation will help the donor transplant team decide if the potential donor is ready mentally and physically to donate a kidney, and if they are healthy enough to do so. This is where many potential kidney donors get disqualified, get discouraged, or tripped up in the process. The potential donor will undergo many tests exams and interviews to make this determination. And according to the American Kidney Fund, these tests will include blood tests, such as you learn your blood and tissue types, urine tests, heart and lung tests, blood pressure check, a spiral CT, computerized tomography scan, or other images of your kidneys, a colonoscopy to test for colon cancer if you're older than 50, a mammogram to test for breast cancer, and a pap smear to test for cervical cancer if you are a woman, a prostate exam if you are a man. You can get all these tests in a time that fits your schedule without having to stay overnight in a hospital. Where you may run into issues is if you multiple list, because sometimes one transplant center won't accept the other transplant center's test. So what happens is you then will have to duplicate tests. I went through this myself as a potential recipient. All my tests at IU Health in Indianapolis were fine at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, Wisconsin, but Rush Medical in Chicago wanted their own tests, so I had to go through those a second time. You will also talk with a social worker. They will ask questions to make sure that you are mentally and emotionally ready to donate a kidney and that you have a support system to help you after the donation surgery. If the donation evaluation team decides that you are healthy and you are a good match for the person getting your kidney, you may be approved to donate your kidney. Throughout this entire process, the potential donor is continually asked questions to the effect of, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to do this? Are you ready to do this? This goes on all the way up to the point that you're wheeled into the operating room door, and right before they put the gas on you to knock you out, they may ask you again, do you want to do this? So who makes up the donor evaluation team? The donor evaluation team usually includes these team members. First, a social worker who will review your social support system and finances and will help you with any challenges, such as your emotions, physical side effects, or finances. Dietitians who review your eating habits and activity level and can help create a plan to make healthy choices before and after donation surgery. The transplant surgeons who actually do the donation surgery, and the doctors that have special training in certain areas of medicine, such as the heart, kidney, or liver. They want to make sure you're healthy enough for the surgery. Living donor coordinators will also help organize your evaluation, prepare you for surgery, and help coordinate your follow-up care after surgery. This is generally your touchstone person, the person that if you have questions or you need information, you contact them. When it comes time for you to have your surgery, they are the ones that make the call and let you know, we're ready for you, get down here, get up here, wherever. All right. A living donor advocate who will make sure your rights are protected and your choices to donate is voluntary may also be involved. So what types of things may disqualify someone automatically from donating a kidney? What kinds of things do we have to watch out for? First of all, your age. Age is sometimes given as a reason to disqualify. Depending on your transplant center, the minimum age to be a kidney donor is somewhere between 18 and 25. There is no official maximum limit. However, certain centers have set their own limits, and it tends to be more difficult for an older person to qualify to donate. According to the Organ Procurement and Transplant Network, the OPTN, only 2.4% of living kidney donors in the U.S. have been over 65 years of age, and only 23% have been between the ages of 50 and 64. With the invention of new technology, Recently, this number has been increasing slightly. In 2023, 6.4% of donors were over 65, and 31.9% have been between 50 and 64. The NKR, the National Kidney Registry, has helped people donate in their late 70s, and one man was actually 84. Another disqualifier can be your weight or your BMI. Your weight or your body mass index is another potential disqualifier. A BMI of between 30 and 35 falls into a group of persons felt to be obese, making surgeries slightly more risky and raising the possibility of developing diabetes or other complications. If the BMI is over 35, those potential donors are usually rejected. From 30 to 35, they are asked to lose weight, and communication after weight loss can be an issue. So, in other words, I have a friend currently that was asked to lose weight in order to donate. It's very clear when you see his videos and you hear him talk that he has lost the weight. He definitely looks different than he did in the past. But some centers will wait and see if the weight stays off. You know the expression, I don't want to insult anybody, but you know the expression, once a fatty, always a fatty. Well, they take their time of making that decision. So they're going to wait and see if, in fact, the weight stays off. So that takes time, and that's a delay. Another disqualifier is the disease or medical conditions. Kidney donors have to be healthy to donate. They may be disqualified if they have a serious health conditions. Some of the health conditions that may prevent you from donating a kidney would include heart, lung, or blood vessel diseases, uncontrolled high blood pressure, kidney disease, obviously, diabetes, cancer, except for certain skin cancers, hepatitis, acute or recurring infections. A serious mental health condition can also be a disqualifier. A psychological examination will be conducted to determine if you are completely voluntary and free of pressure or guilt in your decision to donate a kidney. Certain infections such as HIV, drug or alcohol use disorder, being very, very overweight, as I mentioned, or obese, drinking alcohol to excess. The National Kidney Registry recommends that you do not disqualify yourself if you have one of these conditions, but you should allow the transplant center to do that. In other words, you may have the condition, you disclose it, you leave it up to them. Medical science guidelines and criteria are constantly changing, and they may have an answer for you. For example, such a change has occurred with HIV. Prior to 2019, this was an automatic disqualifier. Now, an HIV to HIV transplant is more common in the US and is not necessarily automatically a disqualifier. Mental health issues, if you may be disqualified if you have serious mental health issues, if you're misusing drugs or alcohol, if you have dementia or are mentally compromised in a way that would make a kidney transplant difficult. Most mental health issues are not alone a disqualifier, and the transplant team may have individual recommendations to help. Coercion. Obviously, donations must always be voluntary. If they feel there's pressure being placed on the donor, or if there's compensation that's involved, if you're getting paid to play, for example, you may be disqualified. This does not include reimbursement from legitimate sources for your expenses. Another way that you may consider are options for disqualified donors. Suppose you are disqualified. Many conditions can be managed or improved. Your transplant center can help make recommendations, and you can always seek a second opinion medically. So what are some of the answers to address some of these issues? Well, the National Kidney Registry is something they refer to as the donor shield protection. Some of these issues can be addressed if you qualify. Donor shield protections include: one, Lost wages reimbursable up to $2,000 a week for up to 6 weeks. 2, travel and dependent care up to $6,000 for travel and dependent care costs. If you need a babysitter for a child or an adult that needs care at home, travel cost, hotel, lodging, that sort of thing. 3, kidney prioritization. In the event that the donor needs a kidney, all living kidney donors in the U.S. are automatically prioritized for a deceased donor transplant if they ever need a transplant. With the NKR, kidney prioritization also includes living donor transplants and transplants through the NKR's voucher program and Kidneys for Life program, which ensures better matches and less graft failures. So, 4, the voucher program. This is a type of living donor assistance that allows a donor to donate to somebody with a kidney transplant in the future. There are 2 types of vouchers. There's a standard voucher and a family voucher. A standard voucher, you can donate according to your schedule and while providing a voucher to someone in need. When the voucher holder is ready, they can activate the voucher and be prioritized for a kidney transplant. A family voucher, the donor can donate according to a schedule while providing up to 5 family members with vouchers who are not in immediate need of a transplant. So, for example, like in my family, PKD runs in the family. If my son had been diagnosed with PKD, or if I had another child or another relative that I thought had polycystic kidney disease, I could, under the NKR's terms, take out a family voucher that some day in the future, if either one of them needed a kidney transplant, they would be prioritized under the family voucher plan. So, what are the benefits and risks of donating a kidney? And let's look at the possible benefits of donating a kidney first. Some of the possible benefits of donating a kidney are to help the recipient. The person gets your kidney, and this helps them to live a longer, healthier life. Obviously, you're saving the life of another person. If kidney disease runs its entire course, that results in death. Better to understand your own health and health problems through the in-depth evaluation. How many times have you read either a report or an article, a post on Facebook, something like that, where someone underwent one of these health evaluations to transplant and it turned up some critical condition that they didn't know that they had, and then now they're getting help for it. So there is that benefits. So what are the possible risks of donating a kidney? When donating a kidney, there are possible physical, emotional, and financial risks. The donor evaluation team will review the possible risks with you. They may not let you donate if you have a high risk. So first, let's talk about physical risks. Kidney donation involves major surgery, which includes risks like bleeding, infection, blood clots, and nerve damage that are risks to any surgery. Possible risks to surgery would include pain at the surgery site, bloating, feeling weak and tired, blood clots, bleeding, problems from being put to sleep, such as pneumonia or a lung infection. Some people are hard to wake up. Your Uncle Jim is one of those people that I've been told by doctors that have put me under that I was somewhat difficult to wake up. Blocked bowels, being unable to pass a stool or poop, infection, a scar from the surgery, and feeling sick to your stomach. One of the possible side effects that we have to discuss is possible death. Now, if you'll recall from our prior broadcast discussion, recently researchers at NYU Longhorn Health found the risk of death from donating a kidney has gone down to less to 1 death in every 10,000 kidney donations from a 3 per 10,000 kidney donations cases risk. Although it is lower, researchers still say that risk, they caution that risk still exists. So there is that risk. Emotional risks. After surgery, some people who donate a kidney may have anxiety or feel guilt if the kidney they donated isn't working well for some reason or other, doesn't start right away. due to stress, depression, fear. Talk to your donor evaluation team during evaluation and after donation for coping with your feelings. Financial risks. Medicare, Medicaid, or the kidney recipient's insurance generally will cover the medical costs of donating a kidney, but most insurance companies do not cover certain costs. Those costs would include time off from work, childcare. If you have young children or other dependents, you'll need to consider who will care for them during the evaluation, surgery, and recovery. Travel, parking, gas, hotel costs, meals during the donor process. These are all costs that are not covered. There may be programs like the program I discussed from the National Kidney Registry, the Donor Shield program. There may be programs to help with the costs that insurance will not cover. Talk to your donor evaluation team to learn more. Donation can sometimes change your ability to get or afford health, disability, or life insurance. Learn more about disability insurance, and the government will help you pay possibly for the donation process. Employment issues may crop up. If your employment is not supportive of your kidney donation, you may have issues getting work. Well, you will have issues getting work in military service, law enforcement, aviation, or fire departments because they will not accept people with one kidney. A possible future solution to this issue is the Living Donor Protection Act. If the act were passed, and there's a lot of noise going on right now that in fact they are anticipating that either before the end of this year or sometime in 2025, all of the major kidney advocacy groups that I belong to seem to feel that this act will pass relatively soon. But if the act passed, it would prohibit discrimination against living donors in insurance, employments, or other areas of life. It will ensure that living donors have the Family and Medical Leave Act, the FMLA, protections to take time off from work and recover. The act would also require that the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the HHS, are required to update materials on living organ donation to educate the public and help change how chronic kidney disease is identified and treated. So the Living Donor Protection Act, it's abbreviated the LDPA, would prevent insurance companies from denying, limiting, or charging higher premiums for life, disability, or long-term care insurance to living donors. The act would codify the Department of Labor's, the DOL's, written opinion letter that organ donation is protected under the FMLA and direct the HHS to provide update materials on living organ donation to reflect the new protections. This enables a living donor to take time off of work and recover from kidney donation under the directive from the Department of Labor to prevent firing, demotion, or wage loss, wage alteration as a result of donating kidney. The Department of Labor says that the Family Medical Leave Act, which would apply in this case, allows eligible employees, and that's key, you have to be eligible, to take up to 12 work weeks off of unpaid leave during any 12-week period to care for a seriously ill family member. That would include now someone that donates a kidney. The bill also would require within 6 months after enactment that the Secretary of Health and Human Services review and update materials relating to living organ donation in order to educate the public on the benefits and the risks of living organ donation and the impact of living organ donation on the access of a living organ donor to insurance. One of the other ways that people get disqualified is an attempts to match the recipient. So matching the recipient is an issue. One of the major qualification requirements is that you must undergo a medical examination and testing to ensure that you are a match for a recipient. This includes blood and tissue typing and a cross-match test to see if your blood cells are compatible with the recipient or if they would reject the kidney. This may include a newer test called epilet matching, EPILET matching. If you are incompatible, you may not donate to that person. This is where a paired donation transplant program comes into play, because you could donate to somebody else, and in return, your recipient, the person that you designate that you're donating for, could be moved up to the top of the list, and the next matching donor would be his or hers. So what are the possible side effects or health problems after donated kidney? After I donate a kidney, will I have side effects or health problems? As you recover from your kidney donation surgery, you should feel and be well. You can live with just one healthy kidney. Your remaining kidney should be able to do most of the work for both of your kidneys. It is rare to have long-term physical problems from donated kidney, but people with one kidney may have a higher chance of high blood pressure, which the doctors treat with medicine. So what are the potential complications from the kidney surgery itself? What is the kidney donor surgery like? Most kidney transplant surgeries are done laparoscopically. A laparoscopic surgery, as opposed to the old way where they used to open you all the way up to put a kidney in, take a kidney out, long time recovery, lots of risks, infection, et cetera, et cetera. A laparoscopic surgery is a type of surgery that uses very, very small cuts on the body, and a laparoscope, which is a thin lighted tube to see inside the body, possibly with a camera, in kidney donation surgery. So the surgeon makes small cuts, only a few inches long, on the donor's stomach and removes the kidney. He does the same thing to put it into a recipient like your Uncle Jim. After kidney donation, it is important for the kidney donor to have regular health checkups, including kidney function tests and blood pressure checks. The Mayo Clinic points out that there may be long risks from kidney donation. Although there are few long risks from healthy donors, risks still exist. Those risks include the possibility that the kidney donor may slightly increase his risk of kidney failure for himself. This is especially true for Black men. There's less than a 1% chance of future kidney failure after donating, but as I said earlier, the risk is still there. Growth of the donor's remaining kidney, it gets a little bigger because it takes on extra blood and has to do a little bit more work. It has to work a little harder to filter waste. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, the normal risk from any major surgery. So what we are recommending is that before you donate a kidney, you do a self-evaluation. You ask yourself before you donate a kidney certain questions. These questions might include, and you might find it helpful to decide before you donate by asking yourself these questions. Why do I want to donate my kidney to someone else? What other questions do I have about the donation process or the risks and benefits? Be sure you ask all your questions to your transplant coordinator, your doctor, all these people that are examining you, all these people that are asking questions. Any questions that you have, ask. Sometimes it's helpful to write the questions down that you wish to ask so you don't forget, or take somebody along with you with written questions as a reminder, or to act as a helper or your advocate. Am I ready to deal with any physical, emotional, or financial problems during and after donation? So, do you have physical problems? Do you have emotional feelings or issues that you can't resolve? Are you broke? Do you have financial problems during and after donation? Ask yourself, what will happen if I have unexpected problems after surgery? Are there things I can't anticipate? Are there solutions for unexpected problems? Who can I rely on for support during surgery and recovery? Do you have a friend, a spouse, a relative? In my case, my son. that I could rely on for support or help. How will I feel if my donated kidney doesn't work? Will it affect my relationship with the person who got the kidney? What if the kidney's a slow starter? In other words, after the transplant, the graft works slowly. It doesn't begin to filter right away. The person has to still remain on dialysis for a short period of time. So how am I going to feel in the event that it doesn't work? The kidney doesn't work. You have to ask yourself these questions. Will I be changing my job in the near future? If so, how would donation affect my ability to get a job, to get life insurance, to get health insurance coverage, to get long-term care coverage, to get disability coverage? So you have to ask yourself these things. Your transplant center has a social worker. This is part of his job, if you have his or her job. If you have questions, he or she can help you make your decision. You may also want to talk to other people about living kidney donation, people you trust, family members, friends, coworkers, kidney advocate, the kidney support group. You may also stop the donation process at any time for any reason. Frequently, your transplant coordinator will say, I will give the recipient an excuse. I will not tell them that you're stopping because you just don't want to. You know, some kind of health reason. I've read this over and over again. Not necessarily ethical, but I'm told that it happens. So, in conclusion, a quote from the Cleveland Clinic, quote, deciding to donate a kidney is a big decision, and the process of becoming a donor can take time. You must go through extensive tests to make sure the donation won't compromise your health. And you must be fully aware of the risks and complications that may arise after donating a kidney. Still, many people willingly and proudly go through the process to save a loved one's life and celebrate their new healthy chapter. Talk to a healthcare provider if you have any questions. They can help you decide if you are a good candidate to donate a kidney and discuss your risks, unquote. So Uncle Jim's question to you is this: how many times have you read where someone that was a kidney donor after the donation said, if I had another kidney, I'd donate again? This was the best experience of my life, and I'm very happy that this worked out for this person that I know or this person that I don't know. I'm just very pleased and proud to do this, and I'd do it again if I had the chance. And you have to ask yourself then, why do they say that? Why do they say this is the best experience that they ever had in their life? So the question is, if you're a potential kidney donor, do you want to donate a kidney? And if so, why you want to donate a kidney? And are you healthy enough to do it? All right, so that's my pitch. Thank you tonight for watching. The Friday after Thanksgiving, I'm not going to have a broadcast. So our next broadcast is on December 6th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's a normal Friday evening. Our guest is Hadisha Remika McDonald. She calls herself Hattie. She's a longtime dialysis patient that's looking forward to a kidney transplant. So we're going to be talking about her experiences on dialysis and, you know, where she's listed and what's going on with her potential transplant. So I want to thank everybody for watching. If you catch the instant replay, that's great. I'll be getting that ready as soon as the broadcast ends. I'll post it to all of my Facebook groups. I'll post it on all of the platforms that I'm on, Instagram, Twitter are examples. Oh, I'm on that new platform too, Blue Sky. You want to check out Blue Sky. Things are happening there. 19 million people now on Blue Sky. So it's not a disposable network anymore. People are migrating to it. People that are unhappy with Twitter. So, please check it out. Your Uncle Jim's already there. I think I've made 200 posts so far. So it's a viable network. I'm getting a lot of new friends and learning a lot of new things, and I think that you'll like it. So check out Blue Sky. Uncle Jim's helpful hint for the broadcast. So, any rate, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on December 6th. Check out the replay, and please, please, please share this broadcast. Don't be afraid to post it to your personal page, so people that are not kidney patients like you and me who can't donate anyways, right? See it and maybe they consider kidney donation. So with that, I'm going to say good night and thank you for watching.